Amazing week of baseball. We had 2 no-hitters.
So it comes down to J.P. Crawford. First pitch swinging, line drive, he's done it. John Means has no-hit the Mariners, and the Orioles mob him. The first no-hitter for the Orioles in 30 years.
Stanton hitting home runs.
That one's drilled to right center field and deep. There it goes. See ya.
And the market is well and alive. A top prospect is about to join their major league roster, and I'm going to be showing you 5 cards that you should either be buying, selling, or holding. Let's jump on Market Movers and let's get started in this video. Okay guys, so real quick before we go over the players, I want to tell you about the tool that I'm using for all the charts. This is a tool called Market Movers. It is by Sports Card Investors. I can't find of another tool that's just as powerful in the industry. It shows you all the data. You can see trend lines. It can show you recent comps and so much more. If you upgrade to Pro, you can also track your collection and see how it increases over time. Because Market Movers is an amazing software. And for the Breakout Cards audience, Sports Card Investors is offering a 20% off discount on your first purchase with Market Movers. So get 20% off your first month or 20% off your first year with Market Movers. Guys, it's going to save you a ton of money. Sell at the highs. Don't sell when a card is continuing to rise, or don't sell at the very low point of a card's value. Just getting this tool alone will save you that cost every single month. So check down the link down below in the descriptions if you guys want to have Market Movers with a 20% off code. Use code BREAKOUT at checkout. And yeah, here's the video. Okay guys, so this is actually round 2, trying to record this yesterday. I was working on this video and the audio didn't record. So we're going to do this all over again. I'm sorry for not uploading yesterday. So the first guy I wanted to talk about is Mike Giancarlo Stanton from the New York Yankees. And Stanton, man, oh man, he's looking like prime form once again. So because of that, he's been absolutely crushing baseballs for the Yankees. His card prices have gone up quite a bit. I'm showing you here the 2010 Stanton update, but his 2008 autographs were selling for $100 a few weeks ago, a little bit over that, and now they're selling for about $3+. So his high-end stuff is tripling. His low-end stuff is about gone up double or so. You'll see this chart anyways, but Stanton stuff is on the rise. So if you're looking for a player, I'm just gonna be straight honest with you guys. I think Stanton is probably your best investment this season. With cards, especially at the prices right now, but we'll go over that in a little bit more detail. So the card I'm looking at right now is the 2010 update base, and this is just a PSA 10. So you can see this is trajectorying about like what, $77, $80, a little higher with that sale. It went all the way down to $69, but sales recently have been up to $150 or more. A really big increase within a month or so, just for a base PSA 10. Now here's why I like Stanton. Besides of always being on the news for his home runs, Stanton has the stats to back them up. I mean, look, he's 31 years old. He has already 321 career home runs. He already has almost 42 WAR, and he plays in a big market with New York. So I'm really liking Stanton as an investment. There's prospects that you could get burned on versus Stanton. You're betting against Stanton being healthy in New York. I mean, if he wins this MVP in New York or he hits 50+ home runs, what do you think it's going to do to his cards? And it's also going to legitimize him as a power hitter and one of those players, what ifs if he never got hurt. But I mean, Stanton is the guy to invest in my own personal opinion. I mean, I have 600 of his rookie cards, so I wouldn't have 600 of his rookie cards if I wasn't heavily invested into him. But look at his home runs himself. I mean, you always see them on the news. Plays for a big market. Has the opportunity to win the MVP, has the opportunity to hit 50+ home runs, which people love home runs more than stats like WAR. You look throughout the history of baseball, everyone always chases the home run hitters rather than the 5-tool players. So Stanton's my guy. I say you continue to buy him. I think 150 is cheap right now. I personally say if you're going to buy a card though, go after some of his autographs before they go up. But if you are priced out, go after this 2010 update one because it's a really good card. But that's Stanton for you. Next guy is Vlad Jr. I actually picked up his first Bowman auto this past weekend. I know it wasn't the first Bowman Chrome. This was actually a certified auto by Beckett. Someone got him to sign the paper version of this card, but he's been crushing the ball. I'm not going to say he hasn't. And if you look at his stats right here, he's already worth 1.4 WAR, batting 310 with 7 home runs. Vlad's looking like the prospect everyone thought he was. sometimes it's easy to call people out and say, oh, this guy's a bum, he's a waste early on. But look, he was 20 years old when he got called up. A lot of players at age 20 are still in the minor leagues or in college. So Vlad could be the real deal. And I might have been wrong a little bit on this, and I'm going to be fully transparent with that. But his card prices are going up, and if he continues to hit, I see them continue to go up. So Vlad, right now, I wouldn't sell. I'd say probably hold right now. And if you're really confident in his abilities, that would be a buy. Next player, Jack Flaherty. So besides Stanton and Machado, Flaherty's another player I'm really, really heavily betting on, doing extremely well in baseball. And if you look at Flaherty, I think he's probably the most underrated pitcher in baseball. Too many people pass over him. If you see here, he got his debut at 21, really young. But his stats is here, right? He's already leading the league at 6 wins, has a sub-3 ERA, over a 9K per 9, and a sub-1 whip, which is really, really good. Now, the thing also you have to note is Jacob deGrom is hurt. So having Flaherty be out there and getting a ton of wins, a lot of strikeouts, he has good Cy Young potential. I think deGrom is the best pitcher in the NL, but Flaherty's easily a top 5, so he's going to get some Cy Young votes. And if you look back in his 2019 campaign, if you look at the second half of his campaign stats, we look this up over here. So second half of 2019 stats, Jack Flaherty. Take a look at this. So over his last stats in 2019, he pitched 71 innings. He had a 0.76 ERA, 0.76 whip. And everyone was talking about how crazy of a start deGrom had of the year. Think about it. Flaherty for his second half of the season had a 0.76 ERA and 0.76 whip. And you can read a lot more articles on this as well. But my God, his stats were amazing for that. And he has potential to do that again. Last year, his stats were bad because of his pitching arrangement. I mean, because of COVID on his team, they shut down the Cardinals from playing in the middle of the year. And pitchers are very based on a routine. And they wouldn't let a lot of the Cardinals players even out of their hotel room. So Flaherty, I heard, had to throw against a mattress for training. Now you're talking about a professional baseball player, professional pitcher, a starter, an ace, throwing against a mattress. So because of that rhythm, everything went out of whack. And even on a bad year, he still had a 1.2 whip, which is good for a lot of players. The ERA was really high, but if you even look at his strikeouts per 9, it was 11. So Flaherty, I honestly think Flaherty's going to be a top 5 pitcher, top 3 pitcher for years to come. His stuff's still really cheap. Grab Flaherty's stuff before it's too late. 2018 was a loaded year for pitchers between Buehler, Bieber, and Flaherty. I haven't seen a year like that in a very, very long time. We know how good 2018 is for hitters wise, but people ignore how good 2018 is for pitchers. And Flaherty's left behind, even though he's a really, really good player. So buy Flaherty's. You're talking about getting a 10 right now for $32 right there, $35. I mean, it's $25 to grade. So I just think about that process right there and the opportunities. So that's Jack Flaherty. I say he's a buy right now at the current price. Next is Jared Kelenic. So I want to throw in a prospect in here because Kelenic just got announced he was going to be up on Thursday. And you can see how this moved his market. So he was at $225 for a PSA 10. Recent sales are at $300. So you're talking about $75 more on his first Bowman PSA 10 within a short amount of time. Look, I think prospects are fun to go after, but at this price at $300, there's not a lot of room. I mean, Kelenic has to be a perennial all-star year after year and hit amazing stats to be worth that value. I mean, we're talking about, look at Vlad. Vlad right now is slightly over $300, and Kelenic is there as well. Would you rather buy a Vlad or would you rather buy a Kelenic? Or in my personal opinion, you should go buy a Stanton or Flaherty. But you have to remember that when prospecting, how big of growth is there. And you have to remember he plays for the Mariners as well. He's not a big team player like a Boston or a New York or an LA. So be careful with it. Kelenic could be the real deal, but $300 is expensive for a first Bowman. In my opinion, I'm selling based off of the hype itself. $300 for a first Bowman Chrome. A lot of money. Lastly, Jose Ramirez. So Jose Ramirez is actually a really, really good player that's just forgotten in the limelight. A few years ago, he almost won the MVP. He had one lackluster season, and everyone forgot who Jose Ramirez was, but I like him as an investment. So look at these stats. He's only 28 years old. He already has 29 WAR, 136 home runs, which is a little bit on the lower side. 870 hits, a little lower, but he's doing well. 29 WAR. And remember, with WAR, you're looking for an average of 65 for a Hall of Famer. So he's only 28 years old. He still has a lot more of his career left to be able to get that to 65, and I think he could do it. If you look over here, this was his amazing season in 2018. He almost won the MVP. Last year, he almost won the MVP as well in 2020. He just crushed it. Look, 58 games, he hit 17 home runs. And this year already at 32 games, he has 9 home runs. The batting average is a little low, don't get me wrong, but Jose Ramirez is a good player, and he's forgotten about. So if you look at this, his PSA 10 rookie is now $112. They were selling for what, $80 there, $65 there. So they've almost doubled recently in value. But Jose Ramirez is super underrated. Compare that to some of the prospects. Compare that to some of the other hyped players from 2021. I'd rather buy Jose Ramirez than a lot of these other players for long-term holds. So still young. It's not in his late 30s or anything like that. Has potential for 65 WAR. Home run wise is pretty lacking. I'm not going to lie. I thought he had more home runs before researching this. But he's a good player, and I like Jose Ramirez. So hold on to him right now if you want to buy a few and throw them away, or not throw them away, but put them in your collection and then sell them later on. Not a bad idea in case he wins an MVP or anything like that. But Jose Ramirez for you. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you're brand new to investing, make sure to check out my website, Breakout Sports Cards. I have a guide which is linked down in the description down below to have you learn the basics of investing in sports cards. So you'll learn a lot through it. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you in next week's video.